Hi everyone and welcome back. You saw the mountain of goodies in my giant haul video and now I want to take you back in time with me. Let's relive the experience and go stationery shopping together in Tokyo. First stop, Traveler's Factory at Narita Airport. We landed at Terminal 2. We took the shuttle bus to Terminal 1 where the store is located. I looked for the McDonald's at Terminal 1, which is supposed to be the landmark as its opposite Traveler's Factory location. And here it is. It's smaller than I imagined, which actually turned out to be a good thing because otherwise I would have been here for hours. Look at this display table. I don't even know what half of these things are. They've got the Itoya steel boxes. I see a lot of people using them to store their stationery. You've got coffee mugs and decanters, some secondhand books from the local bookstore, Weekend Books. I really wanted this cotton bag, but I forgot to buy that. I loved this shelf. Now normally I wouldn't be swayed into buying something like this. These are just some old-timey sticker stubs, but they're so cute. They also had these used postage stamps, some beer labels. Some of these things are really random, but somehow they make so much sense in the store. Even this paper popcorn holder. What else? Oh, I really wanted this postcard, but I forgot to buy it. I wanted this one too, but I forgot to buy that. Nah, skip. I got this one at Tokyo Station the next day. This was a collaboration with Hokotose. I wasn't sure whether I wanted it, but I'll probably pick it up the next time I see it, maybe at my next trip. I was actually contemplating getting one of these cotton zipper cases, but when I saw it in person, I wasn't swayed by it. By the way, I'm filming with one hand, so I can't show it to you properly. Other than the blue, they seem to have all of the other 4 standard colors of the regular line in stock. I love that yellow pin, so cute. This was the other insert I was initially contemplating. This is the zipper case in collaboration with To and Fro. This is in polyester, so it's more durable, but I didn't really like it that much. Some lovely bags from Superior Labor. So the stamping station was finally free, so I went to look at that. They had the plastic stamps with the company logos and insignia, and they also had wooden stamps showcasing different countries. I meant to use some of these stamps, but I was so tired after the flight that I completely forgot. And anyway, what I really wanted was some pins from the Gachapon machine. That was my priority. These are the 2 pins that I won, and I got them changed to charms at the sales counter. Okay, the main display table was finally free, so I ran to check it out before anyone else got there. This is probably the best display table I have ever seen. So these are luggage stickers which you can stick onto your suitcases. The colors just pop. They are so beautiful. I love this one so much that I ended up getting 2 of them. So you can pick one, you can pick a couple, or you can just get the whole pack of 12, which is what I did. Then you've got the washi tape. I really wish they had a book or pamphlet where they pasted out all the washi tapes so you could see what they actually look like. These leather covers, I didn't know it then, but they seem to be exclusive to Narita Airport. I saw versions of these at the other locations, but the motif embossed on the cover is different. This one has a plain embossed on it. these are the exclusive covers and inserts available only at Travelers Factory Store at Narita Airport, the Red Love and Trip. Okay, this is new to me. These are spiral notebooks, but they're like card holders. Each page has a sleeve wherein you can add postcards, stickers, photos, whatever you want. And I think people could get quite creative with this. This is the other version. I guess it's a landscape version, but it's the same thing. These are keychains. This is a bear carrying a mini traveler's notebook, which is so cute. The Japan brass charm with an image of Mount Fuji on it, and these are the so-called laundry bins. The Narita Airport exclusives, I didn't have them, so I picked up both and I got the additional inserts as well. These tote bags are also really cute, but I can't seem to keep them clean, so I didn't pick any of them up. And that was my haul from Narita Airport before heading on to the hotel, checking in and having some delicious yakitori for dinner. Today I'm heading to the Tokyo Station location of Travelers Factory. The walk to the shop is a bit of a maze. I'll show detailed instructions on how to find the store easily in my dedicated Travelers Factory video that I'll put up soon. This was definitely the most crowded of all three Travelers Factory locations that I went to, so I had to tread carefully. This window had a nice display of all of the items that are available exclusively at this location. This is the stamp counter. The wooden stamps here have names of various cities and prefectures of Japan. Then you've got the standard Travelers Company plastic stamps. And then this huge bit here. This is the mechanical stamp of the colorful Marunouchi building. This is a must-have. If you're here, you have to get this stamp. I love all of these display tables they have at the factory locations, but I think my favorite is the one at Narita Airport. I already have this exclusive cover, so I didn't pick it up. We have the dated diary items, which I've already stocked up on, and I got the freebie leather tag, so I'm happy about that. Then the Butler Werner Sales leather folder is definitely different from the one at Narita Airport. This one has an image of a train. I was intrigued by what these were. They look like train tickets, but they seem to have just one in a pack. So maybe there's something special? I don't know. Then the display case had some really interesting items. You have a bunch of pens, nibs, cameras. Basically all the things you will eventually buy, since Travelers Company products are like gateway drugs. Oh, and they even have a Spotify playlist. That's so interesting. Oh, I had seen this on their blog. These are meant to be cotton book covers. I think it comes in only one size. This is the one in leather, and I think it makes a great journal cover actually. These are handkerchiefs, which I found really cute. Or actually they might be tea towels, I'm not sure. These are more of those bear keychains. Oh, so cute. I did actually end up picking this train keychain and the record keychain. I really like them. I wasn't that convinced by the blue one, so I let that be. Yay for my wallet. This was the washi tape, and unlike at the Narita Airport, they actually had swatches of them. Yay! Which I appreciated greatly, and I ended up picking up 2 tapes. This was the passport size of the to and fro inserts, and I'm still not convinced. These are the leather zipper cases, and I wanted to compare the black against the blue, and they look so alike. This is the one in the regular version. the camel. I don't know what these are. They are such an electric blue and it just stands out, but I don't know what they are. When I was there, they had both sizes of the Love and Trip journal available. These are some of the special inserts that were available. I was actually looking for the Ace Hotel and the Weekend Books insert. Unfortunately, they were all sold out. Okay, I was so excited when I saw these leather tags. I thought they were for sale, but they were just samples. So you can always ask the sales associate to gift wrap your purchases, and when you buy a leather cover, they tie one of these leather tags to the gift. I didn't get it done at Narita because I didn't want to wait for them to wrap it up. I also got to try out the eraser at the back of their brass pencil. I wanted to check if it was as rough as the ones I used back in my school days. Happy to report that the glide felt as smooth as butter and none of that rough sandpaper feeling. This was the art supply section. I ended up picking the mini colored pencils and the mini glue stick. I was actually contemplating getting this, but the problem with this kind of mechanical stamp is that it takes such a long time to set up, at least for me, and I like to journal in the moment and not overthink. Then I decided to pay for all of my purchases at the counter, and I'm looking at all the pretty things instead of looking at the ticker on the sales counter going up every time she scans an item from my basket. And that was my trip to Traveler's Factory at Tokyo Station. After a delicious lunch break, I took a train to go to my next stop. Now along the way, I came across a bookstore. I don't know about you, but when I come across a bookstore, I have to peep in. All the books were in Japanese, but then I came across this massive display of 2026 diaries by a brand called Nolty. I have never seen so many different formats, versions, and sizes from one company. I really wish I knew what the different formats were for. They even had a tartan version, which was, oh my gosh, so cute. They had floral covers as well. They even have a ring system. And after faffing around the store a little bit, I decided to move on. But I do want to check this brand out in the future. So this was my ultimate destination, the Hobonichi flagship store, Tobichi. I have never used a Hobonichi, so this was my first time experiencing the brand as a whole. The main display table had all of the Moon Moon merchandise. This was their wall of pencil boards, very cute. I actually really liked this green version, but it was out of stock. This was the other big display table. They had all of the weeks and some of the covers on here. A lot of the English versions of the weeks was actually sold out. More of the covers, I guess that's what these things are. This is your wall of stationery supplies. You've got your stencils, stamps, stickers, washi tape. They even had a wall of snacks, which was quite interesting. I love the way they arranged these pastel covers, so satisfying to the eye. This was probably actually my favorite combination, the lime green inside with this beautiful stenciling plastic cover thing. This is what I had actually come in for. I wanted to see the Trajan. This is the one in weeks, the red. I wanted the red and I was also thinking between that or the black. The black seemed to attract quite a bit of dust, so I decided to stick to the large one in red, and I picked up my first Hobonichi ever. And that was my short but sweet haul from Tobichi. MT Lab was relatively close to where we were staying. I came in the afternoon, but it was shut for lunch, so I came back in the evening. This is a small store, and at one end they have this huge wall of washi tape. Oh my gosh, be still my beating heart. I love that they had samples of the tape taped onto the table so you could see what the rolls really look like. I also really appreciate them having sample cards. I have never seen these big rolls of washi tape before. They are called large core tapes. I find it difficult to finish just one standard one, so this was an easy pass for me. The other side of the wall featured reprints of designs from 2012 to 2014. You could also buy them by the gram, which I'm not really clear about. If you know what this is and how it works, do let us know in the comments below. This is their box of foiled washi tape. They don't really have that many designs in this style. I just picked this one up. This is a special Japan souvenir washi that I thought was really nice. They also did a collab with William Morris. I didn't know William Morris did washi tape. The store also has two Gachapon machines. This is the one by the entrance. It costs 100 yen to play and it dispenses out washi tape. These are the washi tapes that you could potentially win. This is the second Gachapon machine at the cash counter. Here you could win pins and I think washi. This appealed to be more because I didn't really like any of the designs at the other machine. So this was also for 10 yen and I won 2 badges in one go. So fun. After that, it was on to Nikko, and after spending a couple of restful days there, we were back in Tokyo. The next store I went to was the Traveler's Factory at Nakameguro. As you can probably guess, Traveler's Factory was my top priority, so I made it a point to hit all of the factory stores. I went on a rainy, wet Wednesday afternoon, so it wasn't very busy. This is the main display table, and yep, Narita Airport wins hands down. I love that table. They had more books from the weekend store. There was a promotion going on. If you bought any of the second-hand books, you would get one of these free bookmarks. The leather covers here have a coffee motif on them. They had these really interesting frames scattered around the store. It featured a bunch of their products in the frame to tell a story, I suppose. This, I guess, is the coffee-related product shelf. I don't know if this is interesting for you guys watching all of these videos of me scanning the shelves. Let me know if this is something that you'd like to see. I took a whole bunch of videos like these, but I'm not adding it here because I think it may bore you. Some keychains. The ones I got were much better. Haha. If you're interested, what I might do is upload a silent ASMR type vlog where I just stitch together all of the videos of me scanning the shelves for products and I don't yap away. Is that something you'd like to see? Comment below. These washi tapes look like the same ones at Tokyo Station. I picked up 2 from here. At this point, I'm honestly just overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. It's all starting to blend in together. I'm contemplating whether to get this. This is probably the last chance I have to get this in Japan. But I decided it was too fussy to work with, so I put it away. It looks like you could also get a superior labor leather bag customized here. This is the stamping station. This seemed to have a lot more designs in the plastic case format. I tried to stamp as much as possible, but I'm sure there are a few that got away. This is the post box where you can send letters or postcards to yourself. You can buy stamps from the sales counter. This store does not have any exclusive covers or inserts. They do seem to have a few lifestyle products that I didn't see at any of the other factory stores, such as a harmonica and a shoehorn. But I don't know if you are willing to go all the way to the flagship store just to get a harmonica or a shoehorn. Paying for my purchases before heading to the cafe upstairs. These are postage stamps that you can purchase. I was lucky. I was the only one upstairs waiting for my drink, so I had a good snoop around. I ordered an iced Yuzu matcha. They had beer as well, which I'm thinking I should have ordered, but then I would have probably bought a lot more things. So that was it at the very first Traveler's Factory location. Before heading off to the Starbucks location, I stopped at this amazing flavored popcorn store that was just a few feet away from Traveler's Factory. I got their special sweet potato popcorn. I also stopped for some delicious creamy pork ramen with my haul from Traveler's Factory because yeah, I was hungry. So I walked to Starbucks post my delicious heartwarming ramen, and I wasn't prepared, y'all. I didn't know how big the building was, which is a big deal in Japan, especially given the size constraints. So yeah, it's huge. The moment I walked in, I was on a hunt. They have so many things here. They have a lot of lifestyle products and it's easy to really get distracted, but I was just looking for the traveler's notebook. I was getting sidetracked by these keychains. They're really cute, but they're not what I'm looking for. Okay, I finally found the table. They had the limited edition regular size in brown, camel, and blue. And these are the inserts, which look so much more beautiful in person. These are the exclusive clips and charms that you can find only at Starbucks. So this cover looks black, right? I thought it was black. I was 200% sure it was black, but it's actually blue. It's the lighting. I had to double check and yeah, it still looks black to me, not blue. This blue washi has the same print design found on the Starbucks Nakameguro insert. I bought one of these sticker sets. You get 9 stickers, and I really like that they had a sample of the stickers for people to see what was in the pack. More washi tape exclusive to Starbucks, and also a few other inserts in the passport size. More Starbucks exclusive items. Those are the Starbucks passport covers. After purchasing my items, I had no intention of spending time here. It's huge and there are so many levels to this place. But I made the mistake of looking at the food counter out of curiosity, for research. They had this really interesting coffee that I've never had before, the Oleato, where they use olive oil. So I had to try that. And well, it sucks. I'm not a coffee connoisseur, so this was meh. The tiramisu was delicious though, so I had a bit of a snack. Just me and my precious haul sitting before what looks like a train steam engine. And with that, I called it a night in the lovely Nakameguro neighborhood with its cool shops and boutiques. And thanks to the very well thought out decision of drinking strong coffee in the evening, I couldn't sleep and ended up going to bed at 3 a.m. Oh well. Now that I got my traveler's company fix out of the way, it was time to hit the other stores that were lower on my priority list. First up, Seria. Seria, the 100 yen store, or 110 yen I should say in my case. I'm here to look at their selection of stickers. They had their 2026 calendar sets up and the schedule stickers. They had a decent range of stickers. These are sticker flakes. I use a lot of sticky notes when I'm reading. I use these thin strips to bookmark certain passages in books that I'm reading, so I got one of those. Looking back, I wish I bought more of these dotted stickers. I got these transparent ones, but I want more of this too. I picked up these two sets of stickers, but looking back, I should have just picked a lot more. I was trying to pace myself but not buying too much at one go, but that was a mistake. I should have just gone all out. Remember friends, when in Japan, just go for it. You'll never regret it. You'll regret it more if you don't. In the off chance you buy too many sticker sheets, they do sell sticker files and folders to store them in. I thought this was hilarious. So that was my self-control haul from Seria, and I really wish I got more. Loft was located in the same building as Seria. I headed to the stationery section. Now this isn't as big as the one in Shibuya, but I think the size of it was perfect. It wasn't crowded and it was compact enough to have all the good stuff but not leave you overwhelmed. I think I spent the most amount of time at this store, more than I did at Itoya, and this was so much more fun. At the entrance, they had some Tom and Jerry merch, which I had never seen before, so that was nice. The washi tape section and stamp section did look a little bit sparse. This is the friction pen section. These are erasable pens. I've always wanted to give them a go, not necessarily buy it, it's not for me, but it was just fun to see if the ink would actually erase. These are some really cute erasers in the form of animals. A quick glimpse at the pen section. I just use Uniball pens, so I don't know any of these brands. They had quite a few cute pen cases as well. Bookmarks and magnets. I saw this rack and I stopped in my tracks. Gold, shiny, sticky. What is this brand? I'm definitely picking stickers up from here. They also had these beautiful writing memo pads by the same brand, GC Press. I loved it. I think I spent the most amount of time in this section checking out everything by GC Press. Some of these are definitely coming home with me. Behind this rack of goodies was this. And when I first saw it, I thought, what in the name of sweet stationery is this? I did a quick rummage through and I just fell in love each time I pulled something out. These are spiral notebooks. I got this one. The creator is a local artist called Obi1. I picked up a few items and I think this is probably my favorite item that I picked up from Loft. These are some very cheeky sticky notes. These are stencils. I was looking at these index clips by Midori. I wasn't sure if I wanted them, but I actually ended up picking them a few days later when I went to the Yodobashi electronics store. I don't know what these are, some type of highlighter? If I didn't use Traveler's Company notebooks for almost everything, I would have definitely gotten this. This is a book band pen case. A bit of a tongue twister. Had to say it a couple of times before. You attach it to the back of your notebook or journal, so you always have your supplies with you. They had different versions and colors. Beautiful campus notebooks in all colors. These are some hardbound journals that I came across. They seem to be 5-year and 3-year diaries. I also came across one featuring Moonmin. I'm not familiar with this cartoon, but I guess it's really popular because I came across so many Moonmin stationery and merch in Tokyo this time around, at seemingly random stores too. This was the Hobonichi section. Hobonichi released a special edition that is available exclusively at Loft. I don't know what it is or what it looks like. Maybe it's one of these, I'm not sure. If you're a Hobonichi fan, let me know if you can spot the limited edition notebook in this video, because I definitely don't know which one that is. This was the Travelers Company notebook section, looking very sparse after my trip to all three Travelers factories. More lovely notebooks from brands I don't know. Some stamps. You guys, I can't get on the stamp train. I've tried, okay? Stamps just aren't for me. Probably a good thing for my wallet, because look at this range. I was looking for washi tape. I picked just 3 at MT Labs and I wanted more, but I wasn't really feeling any of these designs. The wall of stickers, definitely cheaper at Seria for similar styles. Some cute pins and keychains. The Penco clampy clips. I did think of getting one for my art journal. I was definitely tempted by the Snoopy motif, but I prefer the look of the brass one from Travelers Company. The plasticky look isn't doing it for me. These pencil erasers are too cute to be used. I could never. I actually like these a lot. I don't know what they're called, but I have them in 5 colors. Small scissors and paper blades. I was tempted because they're small, portable, and therefore cute. But what am I cutting when I'm on the go? Nothing. So back on the shelf it goes. Some self-control was exercised here. What else? Oh, more of those clampy things. Side B Label is a famous sticker brand. They have their standalone shop at Harajuku. This is the 2026 calendar display. I'm actually looking for the small Eric calendars. This is one of them. It's cute, but it's still too big for me. I wanted something I could maybe add to my 3-year diary, but it's too big. This is the other size, which looks even bigger. Now, I didn't know it then, but there is one that's actually even smaller, and I completely missed that. This was my final selection, and I think I was quite restrained. Don't you agree? And I ended my day with some delicious katsu meal. This was my day at Shibuya. I started at Hands, and I'm so glad I went there. This was such a surprise. Like Loft, they have a dedicated floor to stationery. By the way, because of the use of fluorescent lighting in the store, you will see a bit of light flicker. I can't remove it, so apologies. The 5th floor is the stationery store. At first glance, to me it looked like they had a lot of office supplies, but they had a really good range of stationery, as you'll see. The Travelers Factory shelf was actually really impressive. They had a lot more here than at Loft, and even the 2026 dated folder that was sold out everywhere was here. They also had a Hobonichi section. They had a plotter section, so I lost myself there for a while. I really liked their art section. I thought it was magnificent. They had a pretty large section on wax seal, stamps, heating equipment, etc. I don't know what these stamps are. They look quite official. If you're a stamp person, you would definitely love this section for sure. The sticker section is pretty incredible. They have a lot of character stickers if you like that sort of thing. They had these large rolls of stickers. I haven't seen anything like this before. Some anime stickers. My husband told me to get one of these, but I can't see myself using this. I was overwhelmed for sure. I did not expect Hands to have so much in terms of stickers and stamps. Ended up buying a suitcase to take a lot of things back with us. Also, if you're into patches, the ground floor had quite a few of these really cute ones. Next up was Loft at Shibuya because why not? It was close by. And this is supposed to be one of the bigger outlets. By the way, there was a line outside Loft just before opening time. This is definitely bigger than the one I had gone to previously at Ueno. This was also much more chaotic, a lot more crowded. They had all the usual brands. This is the Hobonichi section. They had a pop-up featuring calendars by Eric, which was quite lovely. And I wonder if people had been standing in line for this. This is the small calendar and I really regret not taking this. In terms of inventory, minus a couple of brands and some products, I think more or less it was the same as Ueno. The sealing wax section at Shibuya was definitely bigger here. And there were definitely a few brands of notebooks that I hadn't seen at Ueno, but they were here at Shibuya. This was one item I was really interested in seeing up close. It's a clear folder and you can add paper inserts to it. I really wish they had one open so that I could see what it was like. This was another version with leather accents. They come in a variety of colors. I've never heard of this brand before. They had an open sample, but it was hard to go through it with one hand while I was filming with the other. Clearly I struggled, but this is what it looks like. And I can imagine a lot of stationery girlies who are into junk journaling loving these. And finally, my beloved Traveler's Company notebook section. And that was it from Loft in Shibuya. I didn't pick anything up. I didn't see the Obi-Wan items picked at Ueno. Maybe this space had too much going on, so that's probably why I missed it. After that, I checked out High Tide. It's a small store, but I think I was starting to experience stationery fatigue by then, so I didn't pick anything up. I was tempted by these though. They would make such a cute and practical bag charm. The last place I did want to hit though was the Kyukyodo stationery shop. This is located at the famous Shibuya Scramble building. They had more traditional stationery and a lot of incense sticks. I loved these. These are paper fans that are actually greeting cards. I had trouble deciding which one I wanted to take home with me because they were all so lovely. After that, I energized myself with some coffee, got a few more lovely things from the stores nearby, and called it a day at Shibuya. Now the next store was a surprise, the electronic mega store of Yodobashi in Akihabara. I didn't know they had a stationery section and a pretty decent one at that. Good selection of washi tape from different brands, more brands than I had seen at the other stores. They also had the biggest range of kita stickers I had seen. They also had a Hobonichi section, which at this point I've realized every big store in Tokyo has a Hobonichi section. So I got a few things here and I was quite happy with my purchases. And of course, legendary Itoya in Ginza. It was incredible to see, but honestly, nothing was really calling to me. I was tempted, but I refrained. I'm going to do a separate video on Itoya, so keep a lookout for that. So that's my incredible stationery adventure. I was really lucky on this trip to have plenty of time to wander and explore this huge city. But I know that for many of you, a trip to Tokyo might be shorter and you want to make every single moment count. That's why my next video is going to be the ultimate guide to stationery shopping here. I'll share all my tips on how to plan your trip and to make the most of your time so that you can decide for yourself which spots you want to hit without feeling rushed and to avoid FOMO. If that sounds helpful, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!